about some of my learning experiences. That's kind of how I'll start off today. And then ultimately I'll go into kind of my overall experiences and my overall learnings, and I'll also talk about how I've changed over the last 6 to 12 months and what I'm going to be doing as a result of this forum, and then yeah, that'll essentially be it. So I stole Bonnie's Focus logo. She said it was okay. So one of my first learning experiences that I gained from this course was on business ethics, and just some of the aspects of that class alone. A couple of things that I took home with me was playing favorites. So how subordinates are treated by their supervisors, and how some people may get in trouble for certain things and some people won't. So there's this whole playing favorites thing that we have to be very conscious of. I learned about the term bribery. I guess I never really thought of it in the way that we were taught about it, but I guess bribery is that it's expecting something as a result of another thing. So that was something to be very conscious of. Now, in the business, I've never witnessed or were aware of any kind of bribery situations, but it's definitely something to be very conscious of. Even if it's as simple as giving somebody battery in exchange for one night stay at the DoubleTree or something like that. Even something as small as that is something that you want to be aware of. And then, of course, doing the right thing. In our business, we have to be very conscious of our environmental impact, our impact on the community, because we're a very large business in a kind of a small area. So in doing things in business practices, we just have to be aware of how that impacts the region and the people around us. And I guess then what I had, the application for what I learned in the business ethics course was simply, what I did was I went around to supervisors and just simply discussed, what is your relationship with your employees? Do you treat some differently than others? And actually, and through other conversations, there is kind of this mentality, there is some playing favorites in the business, and I think that is just a natural tendency. Some people, there's this 1% of people that come to work every day, but don't really care about anything other than maybe the money that they take home. So they may not be engaged with their supervisors, and as a result, they may not be the favorite. So there's definitely something to be concerned about and certainly addressed. I guess focusing on leadership, this whole course was kind of centered around how to become a better leader in your organization. And definitely the leadership versus management mentality, showing people how to do something versus telling people how to do something, that's definitely something that I'm focused on a daily basis. If I'm going to tell somebody to do something, it's more likely that I'm going to show them how to do it before I just start dictating and instructing. Being aware of your own personality type and how you interact with the other leaders and people in your business, that's something to be very focused on. And the old saying, lead by doing. On a daily basis, I'm on the plant floor, even as something as simple as picking up a piece of trash on the ground. That is a very good example of lead by doing. Instead of telling people to pick up your trash, show them that you as well do it and practice that. So it's a good leadership quality. And the application for that learning, just in the last 6 to 12 months, I've really tried to focus on practicing, learning, and demonstrating my leadership skills. And kind of like what Jim kind of taught us is, I'm kind of in a phase in my career where I'm not trying to tell people what to do, and I'm not trying to make decisions and be that type of leader. I'm simply trying to show people that I'm willing to do the work involved, and maybe someday I can ultimately be the one to make the decisions. Another concept that really hit close hit pretty close home with me is company culture. For the last 70, 71 now years, our company has had a very strong company culture. So talking about it in this forum was very important to me. I learned that company culture is your identity, it's your DNA, it's what you live by every day. We learned about the aspects that affect your culture, such as how people are reprimanded, how people, how decisions are made, how people are informed, how employees are treated on a daily basis, and also the line, the better you can blur the line between work and home, I think the better your company culture is going to be. And I think we learned that. So, and then at the root of it all, it's not what we do, it's really at the center of it, it's why we do it. So those are two very important things to define and distinguish between. And how I've applied my learnings on company cultures, every day I come in and I'm trying to learn it, I'm trying to see it, feel it, and at the same time trying to preserve our company culture and for the future, for the next generations, for myself and for others. So company culture is something I focus on every single day. I guess kind of just by the way things work out, I've been getting very involved in our personnel and human resources department. It's very hard to be engaged in the business and not be involved in some way in hiring, terminating, focusing on retaining employees and how to do that better. Learning about our company policy is something that I've been very focused on. Also, employee compensation and benefit packages. I mean, for a company of our size, who value, high-skilled employees, it's important to establish good compensation and benefits for the people coming into the company. And somewhat recently, I've really been getting more and more involved in that, whether it's dealing with salary versus hourly employees. There's some hourly employees that are that should be salaried, so there's some old school thinking into that. So I've been working a lot with that, and also recently I've been looking into hourly compensation for our calibration department. They've been getting paid the exact same thing for the last 10 years, with small incremental wages every year, but their workload has increased dramatically, and so I've been working with them trying to do evaluations on their wages and how they get compensated. And of course, it goes without saying, you're always going to end up dealing with difficult employees. It's that 1% of people that come to work and just do it for the pay, and they may be, as a result, difficult because they don't want to follow the policies, they don't want to show up to work on time, they want to come in whenever they feel like it. So by default, you're going to end up dealing with difficult employees, and it's really how you deal with those employees that really is the outcome. And how I'm applying these concepts, just trying to familiarize myself with our code of conduct, how we deal with terminations, how we deal with difficult employees, and of course, I've been working with our wage and salary department, working with them closer. So overall, and I think this is kind of the feeling that I've gotten from a lot of you is I can't say that I've gained any kind of tangible learning experience. I can't say, oh yeah, I've learned this and now I have it. It's over the past year. It's just it's hard to describe, I guess you could say. That's why I say it's an intangible value that this class has offered me. This class has also kind of opened my eyes to other industries, businesses, and of course, people. So I think, in that sense, just seeing how you guys operate on a daily basis, you're just hearing your problems, I can relate those back to East Penn, and that's certainly an overall learning experience for me. The other thing that I was thinking about was, when we meet on a monthly basis, I feel like this is almost like a neutral kind of learning environment. So this class has allowed me to think critically about the business in a neutral environment, where I can talk to you guys and you guys can talk back, and I just find that to be invaluable. And of course, like I said, hearing your stories and experiences from you guys and from our professional guest speakers is a value that's very hard to actually quantify, I guess you could say. So what the heck am I doing differently? I had to really think about this, but I think what I've been doing differently is I've now been able to kind of put myself in maybe one of your guys' shoes and really look at East Penn in a different lens, in a different light, and so I think that's kind of, I'm looking at the business in a different way. I'm trying to ask more questions, I'm trying to absorb more information, and I'm trying to form more of a leadership role. Like Tim said, neither of us manage people. You know, no, they have not put us at the head of a department and said run it. You know, so it's hard to practice, to actually practice leadership. But I'm trying to form myself in a leadership role, where I know people can come to me if they have questions or concerns. So I'm kind of leading people in that way, not literally leading, but at least trying to form myself as a leader. And as a result, I'm setting myself a stage to learn and grow with the company. Yeah, so who the heck's going to hold me accountable? Well, I can only hope that my mentors will hold me accountable and steer me in the right direction, and of course put me in my place if I need to. You know, with a company of our size, it's a lot of what we learn about kind of East Penn already has. You know, kind of what Luke kind of touched on. We have the systems, we have everything in place that we learn about. So to hold me accountable, you know, it's hard to say. But all I can ask is that my mentors steer me in the right direction and tell me when I'm doing something wrong. And if they feel I need to advance somewhere, they'll put me in that place. So. And in closing, guys, thank you. Really, this has been an invaluable experience, and it's been, in my opinion, an extremely thoughtful and meaningful year of discussions with like-minded next generation, you know, business owners and operators like yourself. So I have to really thank you guys for a year of fun and excitement and eventfulness. So that's all I got. Thank you.
Questions, comments, thoughts?
Yes.
Do you want to get into a managerial role?
I mean, yeah, I believe so. I don't know in what capacity. My problem is that I'm trying to spread myself very thin across the company. So if I go and try to manage, just like say a plant or a department, it's going to kind of like close me off in a way. So I don't really know what the future holds for me.
So like from Jim's story and what they're doing with the grandson, you know, I think that eventually, as you work your way around, I think that there's opportunity, even to take it, like he's in an assistant manager role right now, and that might be a great place to start with a facility, a plant, something like that, with someone that you know would be ahead of you as a mentor to help you through those day-to-day processes. I think that would be, if it's a year, it's a 2-year process, anything like that could be.
Yeah. I have no idea. I really don't, because there's so many options. The thing is, like,
yeah.
There's so many things that I could do, but I just don't know which one is the right one.
But when you know, the right one's there, you'll know. I'm telling you, because everybody, like we just said, everybody's good at something, or you know, like other people are better at other things, and someday you're going to find it, and you're going to say, you know what, this is what and you have to be passionate about it, and clearly you are passionate about the company. So that's like part of the first struggle, is you have to be passionate about what you're going to do. And like, so, you know, every day I go to work and I'm passionate about what we do, every little bit of it, even, you know,
definitely
the stuff we do that is great, not so great.
John gave me 2 options when I interviewed. He said you can let's interview you for the reservations manager position, and let's interview you for assistant manager of a retail facility. And I went over to the retail facility and I was like, I am not going to fold t-shirts all day. That's literally how I felt when I went. But now, 6 years later, I'm asking can I help out on the weeks outside? You know, so that's the, I think that as you look at different, I mean, I don't really want to do retail, but
Right.
I'm getting fascinated by it now because I see the picture of the company. So I think that you
Yeah.
could look at that. So.
It might be a worthwhile question to ask your board or whoever, ask them to lay out a proposed path, and that, you run this line for so many months, you run this division for so many months, and to lay out some plan that would give you the overall experience and leadership experience in the company to move someday to
Yeah.
that executive level. So you had really broad scope of the company.
Yeah, that sounds like a fun idea.
I'll just have to comment on that, just, it's easier when you relate it to Jim Bosco or Al's grandson. I think the dynamic they have there is different because as a family company, they have a family member at the helm who is the figurehead, they're the family person running the business. It's tough when you have Dan and I are the two family members who are, trying to be visible and trying to have people, know us and see us. And again, to close them off into one area. It's really tough. We have to be very careful about how we do that so we don't look, maybe there's an expected level of, visibility that people want to see from us, to know that we're engaged. So we have to be cautious about, what we do. You don't want to get too granular. Like running the line for a couple of months would be like, it'd be cool for the people who work there, but then everybody else in the company who expects to see Dan on a daily basis or one of us on a weekly basis doesn't get to see.
That's kind of what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm visible every single day.
That's the struggle that we have.
That's very important.
Different than what Al's doing with.
Yeah, because people get concerned when they don't see a family member on the floor.
They,
They're like, "Where's the family?" So it's like,
oh, they're working in this plant and over there. Like, you're not going to see.
they should just make me the family representative,
Yeah.
and they should just give me the reign to do anything I want.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Family, they say,
One thing I would one thing I'd say, that's just something that I think you would benefit from. I always enjoy on small scale, big scale, when you find somebody in the company, like maybe they are the best manager, best team leader, and just watch them and watch what they do. Like I enjoy even small our nursery crew. Like I have a guy who works for us that's been doing nursery for 35 years, and I enjoy sitting back and watching him do what he does because he is the best.
Yeah.
And I always take away from that, and I remember we do some site work cleanups actually for my wife's towing company and stuff, and they had a guy that ran their biggest truck is this rotator thing, and it's a complicated piece of machinery and stuff, and they had a guy that ran it, and he was the best, and because I've been on wrecks where he wasn't running it, and I just always sat back and enjoyed watching somebody be the best at like your hang glide, whoever is your best at hang gliding instructor, I enjoy doing that. So if you're trying to find your place in the company and stuff, I would walk through, there is people that are the best, and your CEO, he is the best at doing that stuff. So just kind of sit back and they don't, I'm not saying stand there and stare at them, but just watch what those,
Yeah.
I mean, I always benefit more, and you can always tell when you run into somebody that's the best at what they do and they're passionate about what they're doing. I always feel like you can take away, man, that guy, just even how they do it or their process.
Thank you for the suggestion. Yeah, I think it's a good one.
Yeah.
I should just latch on to somebody.
But again, and bounce around, but you find the guys that are the best at what they do. And,
Chips in there.
Yeah.
Who's the K around his back?
Yeah,
Okay.
any other comments?
I think that you will learn a lot about, I know that you word it where the concern about being present is there, but I think that spending that time, quote unquote, in the trenches with your team is a great way to get a litmus on the culture and on all the different divisions of
Yeah.
how the company is, so.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, if you're not in the trenches, I mean, yeah. Okay.